Good evening and welcome, friends. At least 44 amendments in the Waqf Act and a new bill to be introduced in Parliament tomorrow. Also, top-level security move in Jammu and Kashmir with massive anti-terror operations going on the Jammu side in Udhampur. And, of course, massive heartbreak for 1.4 billion people as Vinesh Phogat is disqualified for just 100 grams of extra weight. She was to contest in 50 kg category. She was 100 grams more. All that and more. Let me get you the headlines first.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Padho, kuch bano.
No want to enter India. Wrestler Vinesh Phogat misses Olympic gold shot, disqualified for being 100 grams overweight. Meanwhile, PT Usha meets Vinesh at the hospital.
To be, if you made such a comment in a public platform,
you should not be going anywhere to people that you abuse all the time. Please.
Salman ji,
you made a comment about your country like this in a public platform.
Please. I say whatever I say in public, never in private.
Silent on shameful Bangladesh comparison, Congress leader Salman Khurshid ducks and evades questions.
I was in the parliament, Shashi was in the parliament, we had lost. When parliament lost, roads became alive all over India. There lies Shaheen Bagh.
No end to anti-India tirade by Indie Bloc RJD leader Manoj Jha glorifies Shaheen Bagh star. NDA government to table bill seeking amendments to the Waqf Act, major changes proposed. Pak High Commission sends a ton of mangoes to 7 Indian MPs. Pak Congress Unhomi exposed. And forces launch search operations in Basantgarh and Udhampur. High alert in cordon of places.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Padho, kuch bano.
In a massive heartbreak for the nation and, of course, Vinesh Phogat, the ace grappler was shockingly disqualified from the Paris Olympics for being overweight. The decision by the International Olympics Committee came just hours before Vinesh was to go for a historic gold in the final of the women's 50 kg category. While political leaders led by Prime Minister Modi came out in her support, some claimed a conspiracy. What the detailed report on what it's about.
Crushing the hopes of 1 billion cheering Indians, star wrestler and one of the country's top medal prospects, Vinesh Phogat, was disqualified from the Paris Olympics. Vinesh, who was gunning for gold in the women's 50 kg category final, was disqualified for being overweight. The ace grappler was deemed to have gone marginally over the weight corresponding to the category she was competing in during the customary weigh-in before the big final. It was further revealed that Vinesh was admitted to a hospital for dehydration after trying to work off her weight overnight. As gloom descended on the nation, Prime Minister Modi came out in support of the champion grappler and tried to lift her spirits. President Draupadi Murmu also stood in Vinesh's support, saying that she embodies the indefatigable spirit of Indian women. Union Home Minister Amit Shah backed Vinesh to bounce back from this setback. Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi also conveyed her commiserations to Vinesh, adding that she will remain a champion. Leaders across the political aisle came out in support, while some claimed a conspiracy in her disqualification.
ये बहुत दुख की बात है। इसमें क्या है कि ओलंपिक के कुछ रूल नियम हैं, उनके अनुसार क्या है कि हर दिन जिस दिन भी कुश्ती होगी, आपकी बाउट होगी, उस दिन आपको ना वेट चेक कराना पड़ेगा, उसी दिन वेट होगा आपका जिस दिन, यानी कि कुश्ती से 2 घंटे पहले आपका वेट कैटेगरी, जिस कैटेगरी में आप लड़ रहे हो उसमें आपको वेट देना पड़ेगा। ये ओलंपिक के नियम है।
और आज हम इंतज़ार कर रहे थे कि कोई बहुत बड़ी और अच्छी खबर हमें मिलेगी, लेकिन कहीं कमी रही कि 100 ग्राम जो वज़न था, जैसा आपने मुझे बताया कि ज़्यादा था, तो उसकी वजह से डिस्क्वालीफाई हुई। ये बहुत अफसोस है। हम बहुत उम्मीद कर रहे थे, लेकिन हम अपनी बेटी को फिर भी हौसला देते हैं कि कोई बात नहीं, और टाइम आगे जो उसका सपना है वो साकार होगा।
It is the International Olympic Committee has squarely to be blamed for this kind of a situation, and it is absolutely unacceptable, and I think we should take it up at the highest level.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बहुत कोशिश की, ओलंपिक की संघ की अध्यक्ष से बात की कि इसमें करिए, जो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हम कर सकते हैं कीजिए, हमारी बेटी खेले। आज पूरा देश इसके कारण सदमे में है, लेकिन जैसा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि बिटिया विनीश फोगाट चैंपियन थी, चैंपियन है, चैंपियन रहेगी।
Even as Vinesh's dream of an Olympic gold goes up in smoke, the entire nation stands with her at this difficult time.
After winning the country 2 bronze medals at the ongoing Paris Olympics, ace Indian shooter Manu Bhaker arrived at the Delhi airport on Wednesday to a rousing public reception. Triumphalist chants went up in the crowd and drum beats rent the air as Manu landed in the national capital on her way home to Jhajjar, Haryana. Watch this report on Manu Happy Returns.
After making a billion Indians proud with her spectacular performance at the Paris Olympics, ace shooter Manu Bhaker arrived in Delhi to a rapturous applause. Manu Bhaker shone at the Paris Games, winning 2 bronze medals in the 10-meter air pistol and the 10-meter air pistol mixed team events. Manu was treated to a petal shower as she arrived at the airport. Loud chants rang out and drum beats rolled as Manu flaunted her 2 bronze medals.
बहुत बहुत खुशी हो रही है जिस तरीके का स्वागत किया गया एयरपोर्ट पे भी और यहाँ होटल में भी लीला पैलेस। मुझे बेहद खुशी है कि लोगों से इतना सारा प्यार मिल रहा है और इतना सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, और मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आगे भी ये यूं ही बरकरार रहेगा। मैं भी यूं ही मेहनत करती रहूँगी और अपना बेस्ट देती रहूँगी।
Manu Bhaker's coach Jaspal Rana was also treated to a warm reception by a delirious airport crowd.
गर्व की बात है कि एक भारत की 22 साल की मतलब छोटी बच्ची है जिसने देश के लिए इतिहास रच दिया। तो आई थिंक इट्स ऑनर एंड आई एम द मोस्ट आई थिंक प्राउडेस्ट पर्सन दैट कि ओलंपिक वाला सपना जो मेरा रह गया था इसके माध्यम से पूरा हुआ।
The Jhajjar girl narrowly missed out on a medal in the 25-meter women's pistol event, finishing 4th.
Well, it has been a great show for me. I have been shooting really well. These past, I think, 5-6 days have been amazing. I shot really well in all the qualifications. Then the final rounds were also great. So 2 bronzes and 1 4th position. So I think I'm happy for now, but need to work even harder in the future.
Though she fell short of striking gold at the Paris Olympics, she gladdened a billion Indian hearts with her haul at the greatest sporting event on the planet. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Under fire from the BJP over his remarks that what happened in Bangladesh could also happen in India, veteran Congress leader Salman Khurshid beat a hasty retreat as he was confronted by your channel with some tough questions. Meanwhile, the Congress was quick to distance itself from Khurshid's remarks, ascribing them as his personal opinion. Watch this report.
The indie bloc's anti-India tirade stands exposed yet again. While the global eye watches the fall of Dhaka, a lobby in India hatches a sinister plan. Watch Congress leader Salman Khurshid duck Republic's question.
Khurshid, what do you have to say about his your own party? Your own party has distanced itself.
No.
Your own party has distanced itself from your comment. What do you have to say?
Please ask my party.
Do you think a comment like this? Why did you make a comment like this? Don't you think it undermines the image of your own country?
What you're undermining is my freedom not to say something.
You have to be, if you made such a comment in a public platform.
You should not be going anywhere to people that you abuse all the time. Please.
Salmanji, you made a comment about your country like this in a public platform. What do you have to say about this?
I say whatever I say in public, never in private.
In plain speak, Khurshid stated that what happened in Bangladesh can also happen in India. And while the Congress has chosen to distance itself from the statement, India allies have extended support. RJD leader Manoj Jha is all praises for the Shaheen Bagh stir.
Don't measure Shaheen Bagh on the scale of grandeur, on the scale of what it achieved. Remember what constituted Shaheen Bagh. I was in the parliament, Sashi was in the parliament, we had lost. When parliament lost, roads became alive all over India. There lies Shaheen Bagh. And I draw a parallel here.
Congress leader Sajjan Verma followed suit and said that like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, people would storm the Prime Minister's residence in India too.
आज मैंने तो आह्वान किया माइक से कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी, मोहन यादव और कैलाश सुन लो, कल बांग्लादेश की जनता घुस गई प्रधानमंत्री आवास में। 6 महीने पहले श्रीलंका की जनता घुस गई थी प्रधानमंत्री आवास में। अब तुम्हारे घरों में ये घुसेगी जनता, जो भ्रष्टाचार अब सहन नहीं हो रहा है, देश की जनता से विरोध।
The BJP has its opposition leaders cornered.
विपक्ष समर्थन कब करता है? विपक्ष तो विरोधी के लिए पैदा हुआ लगता है इस सत्र में, और अच्छे काम का भी विरोध करना है और बुरा काम तो सरकार करती नहीं है, लेकिन हर काम में अड़ंगे कैसे डाला जाता है, अगर किसी को सीखना हो तो भारतवर्ष में आकर विपक्ष से सीख सकता है।
भारत के मतदाताओं ने इस इंडी गठबंधन को तीसरी बार ऐसी वोट की चोट मारी है जिससे ये बौखला गए हैं, और उस बौखलाहट में ये उल-जलूल बातें करते हैं।
While the Khurshid's allies have refused a straight answer.
This is individual opinion. Let us see. Congress President and the leader of opposition has told that Bangladesh is a sensitive issue, and we all need to be very sensible on reacting on the Bangladesh issue.
Politics is always a fluid state, and things are very volatile. So anything is possible anywhere in the world. I can't predict what happens in India, but it is a matter of great concern what is happening in Bangladesh, and we are keeping a close watch.
Pillars of democracy are very strong comparing Bangladesh, number one. Number two, anywhere in the world, wherever it is, minority interest should be protected. Whether it is in India or in Bangladesh or in Pakistan, we stand for that.
With Congress drawing dangerous parallels, can the opposition's anti-India stance be brushed aside anymore?
Right, moving on. Three weeks on, the relentless search operation for suspected terrorists from across the border continue to be underway in Jammu and Kashmir's Udhampur district. Security forces have been scouring the dense forests of Basantgarh after a tip-off about the presence of terrorists there today. Here's a report on the latest on this front.
A cordon and search operation is underway in Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir, following intelligence inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. Joint security forces, including the police and army, have been on the hunt for terrorists in the Patinalla Kannad area of Basantgarh. Gunshots were heard as forces advanced into the dense forests to locate and neutralize the terrorists. So far, there are no reports of casualties, with the operation still ongoing. The ongoing operations follow the deadly encounter in April in which a village defense guard was killed by terrorists in the Doda area of Jammu's Udhampur district. The dense forested terrain of Basantgarh is proving to be a challenge in the ongoing operation, but the forces remain determined to track down the cowards. Meanwhile, residents have been advised to stay indoors and report any suspicious activity as the search operation intensifies. With ops reaching a decisive phase, the forces remain firm in their resolve to crush terrorism in the valley.
Important to mention that these 5 years of the abrogation of Article 370 to 2024, that is the era from 5th August 2019 to 2024, has seen a sea wind change in Jammu and Kashmir, starting from the foreign investment that has come to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir worth lakhs of crores, along with the peace that has prevailed, the separatism that has died down, and also the say of the Pakistan that has seen an absolute zero takers in Jammu and Kashmir, as no more the calendars of Hartal are issued from the Pakistan. It is the people of Jammu and Kashmir who are taking the decisions, and also for the mega festival of the democracy, that is the assembly elections, which the Jammu and Kashmir will witness in days as we head and celebrates the 5 years of abrogation of Article 370 and 35 Alpha. With Gaurav Sahni, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
In a development that could potentially raise the hackles in the country's diplomatic corridors, the Pakistan High Commission on Wednesday sent a complement of mangoes that the country has to offer to 7 opposition MPs, including Rahul Gandhi. What's in it with these MPs that Pakistan so enjoys? Let's look at this report.
Raising the eyebrows in India's diplomatic circles, the Pakistan High Commission sent mangoes to Indian MPs. 7 Indian MPs, all from the opposition, received boxes of mangoes sent by the Pak High Commission. Significantly among the recipients of the delightful Pak mangoes was Congress MP Rahul Gandhi as well as independent MP Kapil Sibal.
Mangoes have been sent to 7 opposition leaders, Rahul Gandhi on top of it. Rahul Gandhi is also received from Pakistan. Now it is being said that the mayhem, the chaotic situation in Bangladesh on one side, and it looks like opposition is celebrating or what?
Yeah, no, someone sends us mangoes, it doesn't mean we are celebrating. That's absurd. These are track 2 initiatives which are taken and which are diplomatically respected all over the world. And we can't answer for something that someone sends me. I hope Prime Minister will send me some mangoes.
4 Samajwadi Party MPs also received mangoes from Pakistan. A select complement of mangoes from a country which has only exported terror to India is drawing eyeballs over Pakistan's bonhomie with the Congress.
Well, juicy or not, but definitely only for the opposition. That seems to be Pakistan's case. But moving on, as the political war of words intensified over the centre's bid to table the Waqf Amendment Bill, with more opposition leaders coming out against it, the broad contours of the proposed draft legislation and the changes proposed have come to the fore. Have a look at them.
The centre's Waqf Amendment Bill, which proposes to curb its powers to declare assets as its own, continues to invite frowns from the opposition.
We are joined by Congress Member of Parliament Manikam Thakur. Mr. Thakur, what's your opinion on the Waqf Amendment Bill, which is likely to be tabled tomorrow in the Parliament?
Let the bill comes, after that we'll react.
But there are so many amendments which have been stated in the Waqf board. What's Congress take with? Is Congress going to oppose it, or is Congress going to welcome it?
You had the draft amendment bill with you? Republic TV has the amendment bill with you. I, as an MP, I don't have it. But how Republic TV can have that amendment bill? That amendment comes to the MPs, we will react on it.
वक्फ अमेंडमेंट जो वक्फ बोर्ड में कर रहे हैं ये अनावश्यक रूप से विवाद पैदा कर रहे हैं। वक्फ अमेंडमेंट में कोई जरूरत नहीं है समझौता उसकी समझौता कर
वो कह रहे हैं कि ट्रांसपेरेंसी आएगी महिलाओं को।
ट्रांसपेरेंसी नहीं, सिर्फ मुस्लिम्स को परेशान करने की नीयत है और क्या ट्रांसपेरेंसी है। और जानती नहीं गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही।
प्रमोद जी, कल आ सकता है वक्फ अमेंडमेंट बिल, कांग्रेस का इस पर क्या टेक है?
मेरा सीधा सा ये कहना है कि पहले जो उससे पार्टीज हैं उनसे बात कर लें, अपने दोस्तों से बात कर लें, नीतीश और राव साहब।
However, undeterred despite the opposition protests, the centre is scheduled to table the Waqf Amendment Bill tomorrow. The proposed amendments will make it mandatory for the Waqf Board to draft 2 women members. They will also make it mandatory to register all Waqf properties through a central portal. The proposed amendments also stress the safeguarding of the rights of the Bohra community. Earlier, Republic uncovered irregularities in listed Waqf properties that seldom come to the fore.
With the central government all set to introduce amendments to a bill, all set to curb the unfettered powers of the Waqf board to declare any property a Waqf asset and take control of it. There are many such properties over the years which have been illegally encroached, and we are standing right outside one such property which is present here in Hamilton Road, Kashmiri Gate, right from house number 645 to 655. These houses are Waqf Haji Ali Qayyum property being used for commercial purposes and not for any charitable purposes.